Let's do this, Logesh.
Right. Okay, Master. So today we are in episode 4. We had a very good conversation on demand and motivation, how it affects the creator and so on. So it's a little bit of a continuation from the previous video. They have truly understood now that once you understand what is your demand and you understand what is the universal demand, and if you meet it, it automatically allows you to create.
Right.
So today we're going to talk about almost similar topic, but probably on a bigger angle. We're going to call it the purpose trap. All right. So why did I even come out with this topic? Is because me and also the people that I have seen, whenever I ask them, hey, why not you do this? You seem to be talented in this. Why not you do this? And so on. And then they say, no lah, I haven't. I'm not sure what is my purpose in life. I'm lost. They always use that as an excuse to not create.
Right.
So, should someone actually wait until they think that they have found their purpose to create, or they should just consciously find out what is the current demand and just start creating?
No, first of all, we inherit our family's humiliation, our family's maybe point of living, and that is installed as a purpose in us. We were never said you wake up and meet what is yours to meet and live you out. The purpose is always something you inherit. If you grow up in an environment, your family is poor, then the purpose is to be rich. What they long that they missed is usually transferred. And almost everyone is subjected as a tool to somebody else's purpose. So most people come out of this situation rather don't know what's going on. But as the Zen master say, hungry eat, tired sleep. So your question, should I just wake up and create? Just meet your demand. But now the beautiful question is, why are they unable to meet their demand? They only meet it when it's crisis, when they can't pay rent or when they're going to be thrown out onto the street. That means meanwhile what they were doing. Purpose is another way to look at motive, Like most often you inherit what your family longed for. That becomes the value system. So you inherit the illness of the past. Then your life is to undo a wound. Like almost everybody now is born, want to be rich. Why? Is your family poor? If you see a rich family, the motive will not be to be rich, It will be something else. So first we must be freed from the mind or the unconscious mind we have inherited. Almost living out your family's unconscious purpose will become yours. And somewhere that purpose will not sit rightly with you. Then you will not say, I don't need a purpose. You are looking for another purpose. Let's say your family was poor and the whole idea is to be rich or nobody to be somebody, let's say. So you're obsessed about being somebody. And somewhere when you wake up, it doesn't make sense to you anymore. But you don't deny the movement of purpose because you saw them living for a point. They didn't simply live to meet their demand. There was a point. So purpose is a distraction, Purpose is an unconscious movement. Like most people inherit the purpose to be somebody, the purpose to be seen. Why do you like that you have so many likes in your Instagram or something? So a motive is planted onto you. You were raised as a means to an end. For somebody else's motive, which what becomes the purpose. Right? And what happened? Most people, when the situation changes, the original purpose has very little point. But they don't give up the idea of looking for another purpose. They don't understand existing for existing's sake. They don't understand existential demand. then the purpose overrides them. You see what I'm saying? The mind overtakes you. Then you live to fulfill a mind's idea. You do not live to fulfill you. Creation is the signs of you fulfilling you, not being lost to a purpose. You see, if I meet you for a purpose, that's a business arrangement. If I befriend you only for a purpose, isn't that an abuse? That you are utility. We're using the word purpose. But another meaning for the word purpose is utility. Then you are just a means to an end. See, hang on, let's go into this. I think what is hard to conceive is there can be a me beside a purpose. There is a me to me that is here to live itself out. Living myself out doesn't appear to be a point. I must prove a point, and the movement of proving the point becomes the purpose. Purpose means goal-driven. Goal-driven means I will use anything for that goal. By that I miss me. That's not creation. That is utility. That is usage. That is abuse. And we all are lost in that mind. What is the point I'm doing this? What is the purpose? What is the result? And without a purpose, we don't want to do anything. That means we are saying, I will not do anything unless it's a means to an end. Then I will never grasp creation. Maybe that's one way to look at it, Logesh.
So that means, Master, a lot of people have lost the thought of themselves and so indulged in the world outside that they're looking for a purpose to create. So the whole idea is right now, they have to be reminded to look at themselves.
And not only that, it's also an abuse, In order to survive this world, you must feed somebody else's purpose. You go to school nowadays not to become intelligent. You go to school to be equipped to come out and be employed for somebody else's purpose. That we all have been used as a means to an end. We don't understand what love is. We don't understand what existing is. Even when I'm speaking about this, I can see the difficulty of people even comprehending this. It will not make sense to them. So you must understand to the depth we are lost. That is why the science of creation opens this door for you to inquire. It can be scary. You know what I mean? I want to be a tool for you to achieve your purpose. If I don't become a tool for you to achieve your purpose, I don't have a role. And by playing a role in you achieving your purpose, I must have my own purpose. Then it ends up just a whirl of utility. It was very sad for me to realize the other day, some time ago I was studying, the middle income. I thought, they're creating a middle income, very good. In China, they're creating a middle income. They wanted to create a middle income. Finally, I found out the motive was so they have a better internal buying capacity. It's not even for you to have more earning. It's just that they want to create more consumers. I'm like, what the hell are they doing? But I know the audience will be thinking, how else to exist, Master? But I'm asking you the question, how have you been existing? The error is what, when you're lost into this, your capacity to create, which happens by meeting your demand, is lost. Then you are no more acting as a creator. You are just reacting. You are just being cunning. You are just using the mind to manipulate. You miss the entire point. If Einstein created those formulas in the great mathematics and the understanding, it was not for a purpose, He was just meeting his demand. He needed to know or something for his own demand. He needed to find out. And he gave us a wealth of understanding. But the others took it and used it for their purpose. They used it for a means to an end. I say, will you survive, sir, if you were just used as a means to an end, and at the end they shake hand, good luck, bye-bye, move on. I'm not saying we shouldn't be useful, but we should not just be fooled by being only playing a role of being used. That is an assassination of us being human. Now, what is creation? It's the celebration of you, It's you living what you are here to live out, you meeting what you are here to meet, exercising that given ability to manifest, actualize. Like if you see a poor country, the entire point is about becoming rich. A group that is unseen, the entire point is to be seen, to be somebody. And everything is done for that point only. And by being swallowed by that movement, they are denied, isn't it? So the vision of this science of creation, the study is the vision of you and I existing, participating, living ourselves out. It is not a means to an end. And the science by its nature cannot be abused. It won't work if you abuse it. We have accidentally agreed, somehow we have accidentally agreed to reduce ourselves only to utility. By that we have denied who we are. The science of creation is a revolution that I wake up to know I have a role to play. I have a personal demand to meet. By that, I am also playing a role in meeting the demand of the more. It is not a tool to fulfill an idea, to be lost into a purpose that is created by another. People ask, what is your purpose in this life? What kind of question is that? You don't ask a dog, what is your purpose? Its purpose is to be a dog, to live itself out. And what it does, in the bigger picture, it perfectly fits. Only humanity has such idiotic ideas. I had a teacher, a guru will tell me, drop out. Be a loser. Drop out. Drop out of the society. It was very controversial. Just walk away. What he was saying is, don't be lost in the consumption of purpose. If a woman marries you only for the purpose she needs a husband, you feel loved, sir?
Master, I'm able to ask this question because I think once I gone through the creation program, it's like you woke me up. And because you woke me up, I could see what I need to do.
Right.
So it's more like a self-realization. That automatically you know what to do and you start creating, So for those of them who are outside there, to do that process, I don't think so it's easy.
Easy, yeah.
Because of the, like what you said earlier, somebody would have implanted some purpose to you. You are, subjected to all the external factors, your past trauma and so on. You get lost in the process.
Right.
So how do one actually find out what their demand is in this whole noise?
You see, I've been doing this for 30 years, Thousands have learned it. It's sometimes one of the most impossible things to communicate, because they almost lost any sense of them. They are goal-driven. They are lost to the purpose. They are lost. They've drank the Kool-Aid, so to say. I want to be successful. I want to be rich. I want to be this. I want to be that. And all that they don't have, and many times it's an inherited trauma, and they will wreck themselves in that process. And very often it's very hard to communicate unless something hits home. If master said something or the class did something, the credit goes to you, no? You must have been in that space to hear it. Someone who's lost will not hear it. Someone who's lost will not hear it. They're lost. So somewhere the gap must happen. That's why the effort we are taking, with the pivot point and all that, is to create a community, to create a togetherness. Maybe the word is togetherness. That we come together, that slowly, that a new language is understood, a new inquiry. People have never even heard about it. They say, isn't the whole point of life is becoming rich? Maybe not, sir. Isn't the whole point of life is to be somebody? What do you mean? To be somebody is your whole point of your life is to make everybody else nobody. You said you want to be successful, that means you're celebrating other people failing. If you say, I want to make it about me, then I am participating in you not being the one. So people are unconsciously moving, they're sold. The family's input, the society's input, the personal experience, they are lost. So now they will find any means that will support that lost. I don't know whether you have ever had an experience pulling someone drowning. I used to. When I was a kid, I lived by the beach. Hundreds of people have pulled out drowning. The moment they are drowning, they don't hear anybody. So if something got home, the value is yours, You were in a moment, there was your intelligence, there was a sober state. You came to that point to recognize this. So what we are doing, in that gap of listening, when I say meet your demand, I'm saying be faithful to you. Listen to me. Be faithful to you. Actualize you. Don't be lost to the purpose of somebody else. I went to school, everybody wanted to come number one. My class had 40 students or 41 or something. At one examination in Logesh, I came number 40th. So my father said, what happened? I don't like the last fellow. Because there's 41 people in the class. I came 40, one fellow lost to me. So I said, the last fellow I didn't like. I went to sports, they run. They want to win. I didn't care. I was just having fun. They said, don't you want the trophy? I have some trophies at home, some cups at home. Don't worry. Those days they call it a cup. Don't you want the cup? No, my house got cup. That's not my point. Who said I want to beat my friend? But just because they cheer it, I am not against that competition, but that was not my mission. I had no enjoyment in being the one. So somewhere here, Logesh, and this is our effort, Somewhere that you might wake up to realize you are more important than the purpose planted onto you. That you are the creator, so you are the most important thing. Now, if you minus you'll never become a creator. You just become reactive. Then you can only become cunning. If you study human history, there are creators and then there are manipulators. There are creators and people who exploit the creation. That's all there is. One of the points you're making is very beautiful. Somehow they're saying you don't matter. Your great matters. I'm not saying great doesn't matter. But you are more than the grade. I would like my children to do well in school. It's not that I won't like to do. But doing well in school is not more than them. I must somehow communicate to them that you are more important to me than your grade. But I wish you to have good grades. But it's not the whole point. My daughters brought back all A's and I said, how did I fail you? I never got A's in school. I got for arts other than that. I said, how did I fail you? They were laughing at me. I thought you will be happy. I'm like, what are you doing? Now they go to Ivy League school and they graduated from top school. I said, somewhere I failed you. You're not following my footstep. No, it's their wish. They did it because they wanted to do it, but they know that is not more important than them. But it's a very beautiful point you're bringing, Logesh. It appears when we are growing up, something was more important than you, by that they also kill the creator you are. Now, can I say this? I'm just take this opportunity to say this. Can I say the creator and the science of creation comes alive when I am present, when I am important, not something outside of me that I'm here to fulfill. Do you know what they sold to people? That something else is more important than them. And they are running after it. They are running after it. The other day I saw a clip in Instagram. Interesting. There was this group of people lined up, and I think they were anti the war in Palestine, in Gaza. They were anti. All the labels of top brands. They take a paper, they come up to the camera, they tear it. Tear it. Tear it. It's very interesting. I think they were protesting. But at one point, those brands were more important, you know. By the gesture, them tearing those brands, they're saying, no, something else is more important than you, right? Why we fail to recognize that we have the power to create somewhere the way we are, what we are, has no value except for what we perform, the purpose we fulfill, and what is celebrated by the other. And because of that, is that why I couldn't create and I get enslaved? I know some of you might be thinking, I am more important than the number one in school. I am more important than how the world looks at me. I guess so. It looks like the science of creation is about love, isn't it? But the moment I use love, you don't think about becoming beautiful. But I must state this. You know, what is the science of creation? Is to live an extraordinary life, you know. Is to actualize you, is to live that freedom and then be part of a bigger creation. Like now that we are building this community, it's a bigger creation. We want to be a voice of reason, a voice of sober. We want to celebrate you, not just the purpose you fulfill. Because in that you is the creator. And if the creator doesn't wake up, what can come to be will not come to be. You see, if I don't celebrate you, Logesh, and Tim and the gang here, and Kugan, who by the way is looking for a girlfriend. He's 27 years old and he hasn't had a girlfriend. What is the point of living, son? Let me put some purpose into his head. Maybe that is why we have no say over how life unfolds. It's tragic, you know. I think we are civilized enough, we are evolved enough that we are not recruited to build the pyramids again. But I think most people are in the grip, you know, the grip of the insult. The other day, I read something very beautiful. They say the poor people are having ill health, not because of nutrition, work, it's because of the trauma of not having what others have. Wow. In a very simplified manner, the science of creation is when you come into action, when you're true to you, when you choose to meet your demand and then eventually meet the universal demand, that energy of being a creator is birthed. And by living that creation, you live you out and live a glorious life. Not simply a life fulfilling somebody's idea. If Elon Musk is rich or Bill Gates, good for them. I hope they are happy. I don't know. Doesn't look it. You know, somebody say he is smart, but he support a president that It's highly questionable. Go ahead. You have a question?
Master, there's a question from one of our community. So she's asking, like, when Master speaks on upholding something when you're creating, how is it different from a goal?
A goal has an end. Upholding is an embodiment. You see, my father uphold being a good man, Even though he physically died, to me it lives on. A goal is just a means to an end. It's a goal. A goal has an end date. A goal has a reward. A goal has almost a dopamine high. So a goal is a confusion. I've had masters who tell, live without goal. Moment to moment be enough. Very hard for a lot of people to understand that, We are so purpose driven, and the moment there is a purpose, you are absent. The purpose becomes everything. Then you are lost. It's like a state of musk. Like the Hindu bow to the Ganesha, the god Ganesha, the elephant god, is because they don't want you to be caught in musk. Musk is you are locked. Whenever you are lost to something, you are lost. But even when I'm saying this, I know how much it has consumed. Just sometimes you see in a group, somebody wants to be the one. It becomes such an obsession, their humanity disappears. They will do anything to make themselves everything. They'll attack. And that becomes the goal to be the one. To me, if a goal doesn't betray you, it's a direction. But the way the word goal is used is it's more important than you. So the goal means the minusing of you. But let's say you have a goal. In order to achieve the goal, you are important. Now you're a creator. Let's say you have a goal. I need to make $10 million, Master, then I'm freed. Okay? But that goal can only be actualized because your importance is established. Then you can fulfill. So it's just a word, but how we use it. But most often, a goal minuses you. But even when I'm saying this, how much we are raised that we are not important. And whenever you are not important, your ability to create is absent too. Then you are just something anybody can abuse. And then you start appreciating, if they appreciate abusing me, I have value. Then I sell myself to the highest bidder. This is beautiful, I don't know whether people will grasp it, but we put it out there. So to wake up to be a creator, to wake up to the science of creation, the creator is the most important. That means I cannot deny me. I start with me. First I meet my demand, then I see the bigger demand I bow to, and I live a life out. And I bear testament, the one who lives that way lives a glorious, fulfilled life. Good luck to the billionaires. Good luck to them. Good luck to the guy in the running competition becomes number one. If that's his thing, it's nothing to do with me. Sometimes I see they put one ball, and how many people? 11 on each side are fighting over one ball. I thought we are rich enough to throw 22 balls, and everybody play with your own balls. I think the psychologists know this, okay, the narcissistic, egocentric. One of I'm a great fan of him as a psychiatrist, who used to be a former surgeon who became a psychiatrist, Dr. Baldavi, He said something to one of the students, said, people should find something more something beyond, something grander. He said that's when human health blooms, mental health blooms. I think what he's saying is also, at least according to me, he's saying how that you were reduced to a purpose, you are minused. By that you don't discover you. But the real discovery of you is when you find something more than you, which is the bigger creation. So we start with the personal demand, then we give ourselves to a bigger creation. I think building this community is the bigger creation. That we bring people together that kind of agree to this or want to live an actualized life. I'm saying the future of humanity doesn't depend on the goal or the idea somebody create. It's going to depend on each one of us meeting our challenge and then coming together to meet the bigger challenge. It's not going to come through these ideological ideas. It's never going to happen. It's going to be organic. It's how evolution is organic. You are helping me clarify one thing, Logesh. This is something I've been worried about. That again, the science of creation, the study, might become a utility for them to get lost in purpose, in living out wound and ideas. So science of creation, we establish, it's about you meeting your demand, bowing to the greater demand. By that, the creator is awakened. And the beauty about the creator is she now can live their love out. And the way I'm using the word love is, it doesn't have to benefit me alone. What I do is what I do. It doesn't only have to serve me. The problem with purpose is it serves one or a small group of people. But I can see, when I'm talking to you guys, how this is going to be challenging. Because we all have been subjected. We've been applauded when you come number one. You've been applauded when you do what the teacher tells you to do. You've been applauded. We have been appreciated for wrong reason. When I was growing up, I didn't listen to many people. I was never appreciated for my individuality. I was condemned in many ways, that I didn't follow. And I saw the people who followed. They ruined their life. They were unable even to free themselves from the trap of life. Leave alone them living themselves out. Now, this way we put it. I don't want it to lean towards spirituality, because that's its own nonsense. The science of creation is about you living you out, meeting your demand, at the end bowing to the higher demand and living that truth as you out. And in that, all that has to be lived out as you would be lived and fulfilled. And to me, in that fulfillment is where your ultimate awakening comes to pass. If not, you are lost to an idea, a thought. My daughter went to Cornell University, so it's kind of Ivy League, good university. There's a bridge there that I walk across. It seemed a boy from China, if I'm telling the story rightly, if I'm not mistaken, committed suicide, jumped off the bridge and killed himself because he came number 2. If I'm 2 from the end, I would be jumping up and down, He came number 2 or something, and it seems, at least according to the story I heard, NASA already wanted to take him in. Like his life is made. What was that? Even in that bridge, they put a net now. There's a net, so you can't kill yourself using that bridge. But I'm like, what was this boy raised for? Of course, the billionaire wants me to be a good worker. Like they said, people like Henry Ford and all these people are the one who affected the education system because they needed good employees. That your existence is only appreciated if you are part of this bigger system to fulfill, to keep the rich rich, I'm just rebelling against it. I'm saying each individual has a right for living. And in order to come out of it, you must wake up this creator within you, and you must know that when you wake up the creator, you will meet your demand. And the first demand is you get out of this trap. We create a free world, a free society. And in that freedom, you meet the higher truth, the higher demand. And through living out the higher demand is your enlightenment, your awakening. And we are doing this without missing out on life. You get what I'm saying? The biggest problem is if you don't fulfill the purpose, you might miss out on life. I'm saying the purpose is what making you miss out. So now, we go into this and look yesterday. Tim, the community we are creating, being part of this community or joining, is many people who are participating in this. I want it to be shared. That this becomes a language they can understand. That the self-importance is placed rightly. One is not lost to the mind of the world or the purpose created by the world. Like, have you seen somebody goes buy a $10,000 handbag? I'd rather have a plastic bag with $10,000 inside than a $10,000 handbag. Maybe there's something to the bag. I don't know. Who the hell knows? I don't know. My daughters know. But I also think there's something else going on there, right? They made it the whole point of living, right? Personally, I'll walk with a plastic bag with $10,000 inside. Having a $10,000 bag where there's no money inside, slightly a problem for me. But I'm not condemning it. I'm sure it's beautiful. I'm sure it has craftsmanship. I'm not saying anything about it. But I'm like, in the East, there is a god they call Ganesha, the elephant god. Do you know why they bow to that? That I don't get lost in this. Musk, madam they call it. You get caught in an idea and you're lost. If you see your family, what idea were they lost to? To be better than the neighbor? Or not to feel left out? And when that purpose consumes you, you will betray you. The problem about you betraying you is you will never have that capacity to wake up to your demand. And when you don't wake up to your demand, you're going to be enslaved.
So, wow, this is, I think it's going to be a good message to a lot of people outside there, because I think from this video, a lot of people will realize that being purpose-driven could be not the real thing at all.
Yeah.
Right? So, thank you so much for that, Master. Right?
No, thank you, Logesh. And it's very nice to have a conversation where different angle comes. Even I didn't look at it. I didn't see the importance to explain this. But what has to be understood by the audience is that give this a chance. It's not easy to communicate this. There can be a lot of miscommunication. I'm not saying live a life without purpose. Like you're going somewhere. I'm going nowhere. This becomes a bit more 60s. Remember the 60s is peace and no point. That became another point. Not to have a point became a point. That became the purpose not to have a purpose. You understand? I'm not saying we shouldn't be directional. But I think you brought up something very beautiful. We can be consumed by purpose and we can betray ourselves by it. Only when you are, the creator is. When the creator is, he can meet his demand. When he meets his demand, creation unfolds. And when creation unfolds, when the personal creation is met, they become available for a greater creation. By that, they become part of humanity. And we are exploring this. Okay? Thanks, Logesh. This is good.